therapists, medication, community and fellowship, sad songs are all things that society tells you to latch onto when you're exposed to suffering and the terrors of life. But what if I told you that was the complete opposite of what you should be doing, and you're actually missing out on some of the most crucial moments of your journey? The moments when you've hit rock bottom, the moments when you're going through the biggest ounces of trauma and you're thinking, how could life get any worse than this? Your confidence, self-esteem and ego may be at an all-time low, but know that these are scenes that play in a movie of triumph, not isolation and failure. What's up, 1900 family? It's Men's TV bringing you back. Hold on, let me do that again. What's up, 1900 family? It's Men's TV bringing you back 900 thoughts from the dome to your phone. Today we are talking about suffering, the art of suffering, and how we should manage moments in our life when we are suffering. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below about anything you found interesting, anything you liked about the video, so I could keep it up into the next video and the next. Yeah, let's get into it. So why is it that we look at suffering as something that we need to run away from and distract ourselves from and get away from so quickly? You may not think it's a bad thing to avoid your suffering, but it has led to a lot of avoidance within people, leading to a lot of depression, anxiety, and unresolved trauma. But how did we actually get here, and how did our understanding of suffering become something like that? Ancient religious texts has painted out suffering to be a punishment within your reality, to be a debt for you to pay for the karma that you have inflicted onto the world. Whether you have good karma or bad karma, the suffering will come back to you. More specifically in Hinduism. Similarly in Buddhism, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but in Buddhism they believe that suffering is something that cleanses your mind. It allows you to reflect and erase any arrogance that you had within your mind or maladaptive thought. Think of it as a humbling type of thing, something that makes you remind yourself that you're human, and gives a better way for you to view life in a way. A wake-up call, if you will. Already off the bat, I could see how people would confuse the concept of suffering with punishment through the ideologies of religion, but I don't think that these religions are really saying it in that way at all. With Hinduism being as ancient as it is, being 4,000 years old, it is really interesting to see the early views on suffering and how you should handle it within your life. The idea of it being a karma that you need to pay for within your actions within the current moment doesn't really bring a sense of punishment, but more so a tool of optimistic nature. A little prick on the thumb that reminds you that you're not in your situation of suffering by chance, but because of your wrongdoings within your life that you may have done in the past that have caught up now. And if you want to change that, you have the opportunity to do so within the current moment, given that you live a good and modest life. But then we must question the people that are already living a good and modest life and are suffering through natural disasters, genocides, and the unaliving of innocent people. Does that mean that there was enough collective karma within the population to make that permissible to these innocent people? What reminder and greater message is there behind that? Both Christianity and Islam believe that moments like this are an opportunity for you to have immense spiritual growth. They believe that suffering through times like this while still holding your faith in God intact, the optimism that it's going to be alright given that you have belief within a higher power, is the highest testimony of your faith. In layman's terms, it makes you beg the question, how can you call yourself a true believer and having utmost faith in God if you only have faith when there's good times? There would be no need for you to have faith if everything is going good. You need faith, and you need that reminder that life isn't always going to be good through that suffering. Now, before all the atheists that are watching this video come and, start getting excited, I want to say that I see where a lot of these religions are getting their points from, and I think it brings a lot of practicality through our lives today. Think about it. Anytime that you suffered, how did you actually stop the suffering from occurring and all the anguish and pain that you were going through? It normally comes from us seeing something deeper within ourselves, a mindset shift, or just seeing something deeper within the world itself. Or maybe we changed the habit that we were diving ourselves into. It always comes from change and optimism. See, suffering doesn't only make you crawl to God, but makes you crawl to yourself. Makes you seek out knowledge so you can be more prepared within a future occurrence. A beautiful metaphor, if I must say so myself. And it's not just religion that believed this either. Ancient Greek philosophers like, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name, Aeschylus. I don't know, man. Just Aeschylus. Aeschylus believed that suffering is a crucial part to life and our transformative stages within it, claiming that evolution within ourselves, us seeking out wisdom and knowledge, would not be possible without an immense amount of suffering through our lives, claiming that he who learns must suffer. Unlike the religious views where I'm kind of on the fence, especially with like the Hinduism and Buddhism, I fully agree with this point. I agree with it when it comes to why we suffer and how we should deal with our suffering within life. Not seeing it as in such a pessimistic way, but more so optimistic way for you to go and solve your problem, to be creative, to look within yourself. Look for a problem solver within yourself. Think of it, if you was a newborn baby that was born into a rich family, nice house, and was golden spooned your whole life, you would be naive as fuck. Naive to all the challenges within life, naive to all of the suffering that you are going to face eventually, and not know how to solve it. You see in those RPG games when you level up and you get an extra boost of shield because they know you're leveling up and you're going through a more challenging level now? That's how life is with suffering. If you make it through those suffering times, you get extra shield, an extra layer of titanium for your whole body. But it isn't all about being able to withstand challenges. It's not all about that all the time. The thing that makes us human and able to really procreate within the society is empathy. And I believe that punishment, suffering, trauma, that all brings a new level of empathy and makes us able to bond neurochemically within each other as a society. I'm going to keep that in even though I stuttered a little bit. But it's really true. Think about your closest brethren right now. Think about your closest friend, your closest buddy that you'd tell anything to, that you'd put your life on the line for. You've probably bonded over some traumatic shit, or you've had the same things happen to you in your life, and that's what makes you so close to each other and able to understand each other so much. That level of connection wouldn't have happened if you didn't have that suffering through your life. It's again a very heavy price to pay, but a necessity to life and your development. Avoiding your suffering and becoming very naive or just not experience any in the first place could make you quite annoying, to be quite honest. Like I can't even, I wouldn't really hang around someone like that myself. I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't imagine that, for real. That'll be a lot of baggage, I think. I don't know if that sounds rude or something, but hey. But I'll tell you, for every heartbreak I went through, every betrayal that I've went through personally, it definitely molded me into the person that I am today. And I wouldn't take back any of it, any of the suffering, any of the cold nights that I was lonely by myself, because hey, one, it gives me the ability to, yes, be more empathetic to other people and understand them more, build closer bonds with people, but also it makes me more withstandable. I understand myself more. I have more of a self-esteem within myself. I trust myself more within any moment that's going to come within the future. I know how to react, and I know that this is just a part of my story. I can't collapse, I can't stress out about it, because I know it's all natural. Within a story of triumph, like I said at the start of the video, there's always scenes like this. It's only natural. But at the same time, you can't suffer too much either. In the book Courage to be Disliked, which I have right... there we go. Which I have right here. Wait, let me get closer. Here, it talks about the anxiety of trauma. And more so the fact that trauma doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that in so much of a literal way, but the fact that we really choose what to do with our trauma. And sometimes we stay within our trauma so we avoid situations in the future. Have you ever romanticized the idea of suffering? Have you ever suffered and delved into the pit of it for more than you should have? See, this psychology speaks on the fact that people choose to stay within a specific trauma, an event that happened within their life, so they can avoid any future events that can damage their ego. For example, you may have been cheated on by a partner in the past, so now you will stay within that trauma, unheal it, and keep it as a point to not really indulge in any future relationships or entanglements. If that sounds like you, then you are choosing to be within your trauma. Your trauma doesn't actually exist. When trauma actually exists, you put in the work to reform it and develop it into evolution rather than diluting your character as a whole. Because trauma doesn't take away from you. Actually, it gives to you. It gives you lessons and an opportunity to know yourself more, as I've said, and I don't want to repeat myself, but basically what I'm saying is your childhood trauma, your suffering that you went through within the betrayals and all of that good stuff, it's valid, but how long for? How long are you gonna let that rule over your life? And if so, then so, bruh. But no, that's no way to live. That's not what it's there for. These things all have a meaning, and it damn sure ain't for you to just stay like that. There would be no point to human existence if it was like that, bro. So wake the fuck up. But again, it's not always that easy. And in the world we live in today, where there's distractions, instant gratification everywhere through pornography, doom scrolling, drug use, it is easy to really avoid your trauma as a whole and create a blanket of comfortability through those things because of the instant gratification. Every time you see a naked woman on your screen, you double tap a picture, a post, or anything, it builds a connection within your brain, a reward system that makes that thing a vice, a bad habit that you go to when you're in these stressful times, and makes it seem like something that's benefiting you, but it's really just making the problem still there, but you're just not solving it. So I want to give some help to the people in the 1900 community, because I was once someone like that myself, bro. I was once like that myself, but it's okay. I've got the help for you. Know what I mean? These things ain't something really too hard to overcome once you got the awareness to help you. Well, firstly, right off the bat, your mindset. This whole video should have shifted your mindset by now, and if it didn't, go watch the video again, bro. Secondly, we need to document our journey. We need a documentation. So what I like to do is journal. Anytime I'm going through something crazy, and even if I'm not, I'll journal and see how I really be handling situations. An analytical documentary, if you will, of myself, and just see what's working and what's not. This allows me to keep track and really implement the things that are working back into my life. Secondly, to avoid any negative bad habits that will indulge you more into your suffering or make you avoid it, cutting out any distractions like the ones I named, and just people that bring toxicity into your life is also important. You want positive energy when you're going through suffering. Positive energy that will make you optimistic and will support you even when you're being emotional or just not your best self. Thirdly, we need to replace our vices. Because your brain is so adept to these instant gratifications, you're literally going to be depressed if you do not have a replacement. So replace whatever vices you go to with something more beautiful, allowing you to implement your suffering into a passion and art form, and also give you the opportunity to, just flesh it out, give it back into the world. Allow that karma to meet you halfway. A lot of these artistic paintings, a lot of these albums that get released that entertain you, the videos on your feed, the one you're watching right now, was inspired through suffering. That suffering that you have in your heart doesn't have to just be extinguished and just be solved for you solving yourself, but it can also be portrayed beautifully within anything that you want to. Music, a video, a drawing, something of that nature. But don't repeat the same cycle again and again. A lot of you niggas think that just because your ex cheated on you, you're gonna go to the next bad bitch and, crush her guts and think everything's gonna be okay after that. No, you're just repeating that cycle of negativity and you're not facing the problem head on. These are things that I do not want anyone watching this video to do. Really face the problems head on and allow yourself to grow, not regress. Suffering is there to help you grow. Granted, I will say through the art of self-destruction within suffering, you are going to lose your shit. You're not gonna feel like yourself. You're gonna feel like, rock bottom and just all over the place, but that's what it's there for. You know what I mean? It's there for you to start from the ground up. Through evolution, there will always be ups and downs, but you choose how long you stay down for. And this video is another resource for you to go back up. It's Men's TV, bringing you back 900 thoughts from the dome to your phone. I'm out.